There are two different dramas that happened a few weeks, maybe like a month or so ago, that happened basically back to back, or at least in like relatively quick succession. And they happened, I was already like thinking about starting a channel to react to like drama and also just like whatever else I feel like watching when it comes to like random YouTube videos that I may have thoughts and opinions on. Um, I was already thinking about starting just sort of a channel like this one, but when I saw those two situations kind of like blowing up in popularity to such an extent that they seem to be like breaking into the mainstream, rather than just being contained to like Twitch and or like gaming circles, they kind of pushed me to be like, you know what? Yeah, sure, I kind of want to do this. So I am a bit behind on reacting to these situations and talking about these things, but I do still want to pay them some attention, pay them some mind, as it were. So yeah, and now we are also in the case of this one, the kind of Lakari situation, I guess. Um, I don't really know Lakari. Like I know of him. I know like his name basically because I want to say I saw something with him like years ago related to like Genshin Impact, I think. But other than that, I like don't really know I think anything about him. Other than that. So yeah, and then this is also going to give me a chance to watch an internet anarchist video. I think I mentioned when I reacted to that first Muujin video, that I had like regularly seen Muujin's channel and videos recommended to me about like various things that were like drama related or at least drama adjacent. And same can be said for Internet Anarchist. I've definitely seen these videos recommended to me on YouTube before, but I'm pretty sure I've never actually watched one. So we're going to do just that and see how it goes. Um, yeah, let's get into it, I guess. Let's see what happened and if it makes sense that this whole thing got as big as it did, I guess.
In the world of live streaming, a career often takes years.
Why is Kai Cenat on my screen? I get it. The guy's big. We don't need to talk about him literally every time anything tangentially related to streaming happens. Please.
To build. It requires thousands of hours of dedication.
Oh my god, and speed too? Get me the fuck out of here.
Capture an audience. But whilst it can take a decade to build an empire on Twitch, we have witnessed time and time again that it only takes a single moment for it to all be destroyed. One slip up, one
I remember that guy.
judgment, or even
you know, the one with the sunglasses.
Window, and the entire house of cards can come tumbling down. On the 22nd of January 2026,
I'm sorry, super random note before anything like remotely serious happens because of what was just shown on the screen, the guy with the sunglasses. Does anybody else think it's like really weird when some content creators are like perma wearing, not like sunglasses is an extra step, but even just like hats, like you're inside. The primary function of hats is supposed to be that like the visor part like is to like keep the sun out of your eyes. Or like maybe if you have longer hair it's to like keep your hair contained from like wind or like, you know, similar sorts of I don't know. I always think it's weird when I see people wearing what are clearly outdoor accessories inside on the regular.
a popular Twitch streamer known as Lakari
Super
was
irrelevant.
live in front of
My
his
bad.
audience, doing what he has done for over a decade. He was playing League of Legends,
Oh, no.
entertaining thousands of viewers.
Not League of
and
Legends.
dream of being a mid to high tier streamer. However, within 5 seconds, everything changed. While multitasking, he accidentally opened a notepad file that revealed something incredibly dark and possibly extremely illegal. This split-second moment wasn't just something embarrassing, but something that would set the internet ablaze and completely destroy his career and possibly even his life.
Wait. Folder couples teens. Okay, I'm guessing that green block is something that was added in editing, because what I'm looking at doesn't really tell me anything, right? Okay.
And if it wasn't for the file opening in the first place that did it, it was his reaction afterwards. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be diving into the Lakari situation, how a 5-second slip-up destroyed his career, and why this may have been hidden in plain sight the entire time. But to fully understand the depth and depravity of the situation, we first have to learn about who Lakari is in the first place. Prior to the recent events that transpired, Lakari was a celebrated figure in the gaming world. His journey began over a decade ago in 2012, a time when the online streaming world was only just becoming a thing. It's also
Wow,
worth
that
noting
layout.
that Lakari was by no means an overnight success. Like many, he started small and stayed small for over 5 years, as it wasn't until 2017 when he truly began to carve out his own space in the online world, not just as a gamer, but as a personality. Lakari was known as a speedrunner and a highly skilled player across a variety of difficult and competitive games such as League of Legends, Genshin Impact, and Tekken. Over the next few
Genshin,
years,
yeah.
Lakari didn't simply play games, but he began networking with other more established
Those aren't really
streamers.
speedrun
Throughout the
games,
2020s,
by the
Lakari
way.
had established himself as a mid to high tier streamer on Twitch, with his channel averaging around 1,500 concurrent viewers, with peak viewership going above 10,000 viewers during major streams. He also successfully integrated himself into one of the most powerful social
What am I
circles
looking
in
at?
the Twitch streaming industry, the Austin-based streamer ecosystem. He became a regular guest on Asmongold's streams and entered the orbit of major creators like Mizkif and Esfand. These collaborations enabled Lakari to cement his status as not
OTK.
just a random streamer, but as a genuine friend and collaborator of the gaming organization OTK. The association was strong enough that by May 2023, during a Mizkif stream, Lakari jokingly unofficially joined OTK in chat, solidifying his place in the group's lore.
I'll join, pay me. Okay, Lakari's on OTK. That's the announcement, chat. Lax on OTK. That's it. That was the announcement for today. Lax on OTK. That was easy. All right, like, I'll pay him. That was easy. He's on. He did it.
In the extremely volatile world of content creation, this was truly the sweet spot. He was essentially living the dream, playing video games for a living and earning lucrative income, yet without the suffocating levels of fame that makes a normal life impossible. He had the friends, the clout, and the stability that millions of aspiring creators chase, but often never catch. He had spent 15 years building the perfect life, but it would only take 5 seconds to undo all that work. The 22nd of January 2026 started just like any
It really is crazy how many people get it, like manage to get to having this, like being in this position of like having so much privilege, like getting to do such a, frankly speaking, like very casual job, and they just like do some stupid shit to fuck it up for themselves. Like, it's really crazy to me. I don't know. People are dumb, I guess. I feel like that's the long and short of it.
any other day for Lakari. He was live on Twitch grinding League of Legends just as he had done countless times before. To the thousands watching, it was just another stream from their favorite streamer. A moment during this stream, however, would completely change everything. While attempting to multitask, Lakari opened Windows Notepad and revealed something deeply disturbing. In the past, this action would have been harmless. However, a recent Windows update has introduced a new feature that displays a history of recently opened files files and tabs directly within the Notepad app. As
Why would it do that?
popped up on the stream, it didn't just show a blank page. For a few seconds, it displayed a list of URLs and file names that Lakari had previously accessed.
Let me at least add
Okay.
wait to a list of champions that I like.
Bro's reaction time was not on it. gonna say that right now.
For obvious reasons, I can't show exactly what the notepad contained on YouTube, but it contained file names and links with suggestive words involving minors, animals, and other clearly illegal themes.
Oh.
The reaction was instantaneous.
Oh, I see.
To sit in his chair acting like nothing had happened, the clip was already being captured, cut, and
Bro.
uploaded onto pages such as r/livestream
Bro.
fail, Twitter, and
You
even
gotta
Google+.
insta-end stream you do
Minutes of
something
links
like
being
that.
spread, internet detectives began investigating the links visible and confirmed the nature of the material.
You gotta have a shortcut, a hotkey in OBS that insta kills your stream. You gotta know how to go into your Twitch settings, and you gotta know how to nuke that VOD immediately if you want to have any chance. What do you mean he just continued stream? What?
What they found was said to be extremely disturbing to say the least.
What was that? Things included in the list. Oh. Oh, I see. Another tab labeled 500 JBT? I'm not gonna say what that stands for, but it's bad. Am I dumb? Am I supposed to know what JBT stands for? I feel like I'm pretty online. And I also feel like I've looked at, or not even like necessarily looked at, but I feel like I've like, in being pretty online, I feel like I've seen a decent amount of like porn and porn terms in my day. JBT's not ringing a bell, gonna be honest, which is probably concerning in and of itself now that I think about it. Looked from the original thread, visited, found so much more quote-unquote teen links. Okay, so I'm assuming that because this became such a big deal, some of this content's probably like pretty bad. One thing I do want to say, just like trying to be objective about what I've been presented so far, I feel like the teen tag, I feel like I'm probably not using quotes in the same way that that comment on screen is using quotes. But I feel like teen is like a pretty common way to try to like sell like a video, or like, you know, like it's a pretty common tag, right? And it's not even necessarily like always an accurate tag. Like there are like 20 there are like porn actresses in their like 20s and maybe even some in their 30s, depending on how youthful they look, how young they look, again in quotes, because that kind of thing is like very subjective and based on like a variety of like physical factors that are like maybe getting into some weird territory to talk about. But in any event, there are like people who are well into their adult lives that are in teen videos, and also teen can mean 18 and 19, which is fine. So it doesn't necessarily mean the thing that I feel like we're getting into it actually meaning. Yeah, so I guess this is me trying not to jump to worst case scenario, you could say. However, I should, while trying to, you know, stand on reason here, I should probably also say the animal stuff, definitely immediately concerning, definitely not going to get any kind of defense from me on that one at all.
When watching the clip closely, there is a distinct split second where Lakari seems to realize the gravity of the mistake. His expression shifts rapidly as he looks at the notepad window and the contents within, followed by a moment of pure silent panic where the realization probably hit that he may have just ruined his life. Yet, in a move that baffled everyone watching, he didn't end the stream. Despite the visible panic and the chat beginning to spiral, Lakari continued streaming, choosing to stay live and respond to the situation in real time. This decision would unfold about as well as you would expect, turning into a complete disaster.
Sorry, I want to see the moment of panic that was mentioned again. I think I might have missed it.
Where Lakari seems to realize the gravity of the mistake. His expression shifts rapidly as he looks at the notepad window and
Oh yeah, there is like an oh shit before he tries to
follow
just move on. That's crazy. One very minor thing, just because I like to complete my thoughts, I guess. I mentioned how I wasn't going to defend anything sexual related to animals at all. Closest you're going to get to that is a girl using, or I guess a guy too, you know. Let's not be, you know, heteronormative and exclusive about things. A person, a normal consenting adult, using like a knotted dildo. That's like closest you're gonna get to animal anything approval or like condoning from me.
Disaster.
Definitely no like actual live animals.
Situation as if it
No,
was a
no,
minor
no.
misunderstanding.
No.
Pun intended. His chat, however.
Wait,
was no
what did he just say?
interested in the game,
What
but
did he just
instead
say?
drifted. His chat, however, were no longer. It was a minor misunderstanding. Pun intended. His chat, however.
Minor misunderstanding is fucking crazy. Minor misunderstanding is fucking crazy.
Were no longer interested in the game, but instead were fixated on the suspicious notepad file, specifically one tab that had been spotted labeled 1500 JBT files. According to the livestream fail subreddit, JBT stood for jailbait teens.
Oh,
Lakari's
jailbait.
response to the whole situation.
I understand
was a
now.
frantic series of excuses that only served to incriminate himself even further.
I do
His
know what
initial
that
defense
means.
was to claim that someone had linked the file in his
Yeesh.
chat, implying that he was a victim of a bad click. This explanation fell apart instantly under scrutiny, as it failed to explain why he had seemingly saved the content into a dedicated notepad file on his hard drive, let alone one with such a specific and incriminating file name. Once Lakari realized that narrative wasn't going to convince his audience, he pivoted to a second, even less believable excuse. He claimed the file had automatically downloaded while he was browsing the web.
Did I not like deny that I didn't download shit? I didn't know what was
Don't
in there.
be sad
Like,
that your career is over, be happy that IT happened XQCL. Don't be sad that your career is over, be happy that IT happened XQCL. Jesse vindicated, Jesse vindicated, Jesse vindicated.
how does it end up there? Okay, let me explain what happened. All right, I was surfing a site. Okay, the shit got downloaded. Like, I didn't trigger a download, just got downloaded. I opened up the text document. I saw what was in it. I deleted the text document. I deleted it. But the problem with Windows 11 is that even if you delete the text document, it apparently still stays there. So it was still there after I deleted it. I've told you guys 1,000 times that's what happened.
What is this? Age isn't the issue.
Like, I have like a fucking
Thing that keeps popping up on screen.
On my fucking hard drive, bro. Like a lot. Sometimes you go to a site, some shit downloads on your shit, you don't fucking want it, you fucking delete it, and that's just what happened, man. Okay? Like, that's what happened. I'm sorry, all right? Like, I don't know how many times I have to explain this, but that's what happened. Dude, let's just move the fuck on, please.
As his audience immediately pointed out, if modern web browsers were silently auto-downloading text files full of illegal URLs without user consent, it would be a global cybersecurity crisis, not an isolated glitch on one streamer's PC. Whilst this
Maybe just a
already
minor
seems like rock
minor
bottom,
issue
Lakari
affecting
would
more than
only
just
continue to dig
him.
his grave when the chat pressured him to open his recent files list in Notepad again to prove his innocence. Lakari agreed, likely hoping to show the incriminating files were gone.
Oh, no.
Instead, he revealed a screen that looked like a panic-induced cover-up. The suspicious document was still there, but it was now buried under a list of freshly created empty files named New Text Document, and one of the files involving JBT was also somehow missing.
Fap for Fun? Fap for Fun is a Thai site.
The internet immediately saw right through it, with viewers on Reddit mocking the attempt of covering it up. As one user put it, he was trying to hide stuff and still effed up. To make matters even worse, a viewer suggested that if the file had truly been deleted, it wouldn't open. Lakari, trying to prove it was gone, clicked the file and it opened, proving live on stream that the material was still sitting on his hard drive.
Oh no. What?
Open if it's deleted. Okay, well, I 100% fucking deleted it, so it shouldn't open, right?
Oh no.
It opened. What?
Bro.
At this point, the atmosphere in his stream had turned hostile. His moderation team, the people responsible for protecting him, began to turn on him.
He showed it again.
Comments and banning users, allowing the chat to be overrun with text-to-speech donations, calling him a PDF file.
Pedophile, 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 pedophile.
The total collapse of his support system was cemented when
Go to your alerts and mute that. What are you doing?
End your stream, dude. This isn't funny. This isn't a joke or something you can laugh off. I hoped that this somehow was a mistake or a virus, but it's looking real bad. You need to get help. I'm unmodding myself and unassociating with you. Peace. In the middle of everything falling apart, Lakari was clearly panicking and totally lost. He actually turned to Grok, Elon Musk's AI chatbot, and asked it live on stream whether possessing hentai was even legal in Texas. And he did this right in front of the same people already accusing him of having illegal stuff. It was next level self-destruction. The guy basically jumped straight into a hole and kept digging.
Is having
No, wait.
on your PC in Texas illegal, Grok?
What?
43K? And that's if they think it's like, oh my fucking god.
While Lakari was fighting a losing battle in his own chat, the wider internet was
bro.
dissecting his excuses. Fellow streamer Quincy
Bro. You're still alive. What? What? I I don't even know. That's like that's just such a log off. Log off is what I got. Like, I'm sure that this whole incident, I don't know exactly what the full fallout and like repercussions of this are going to be for him, other than, you know, the court of public opinion. But holy shit, does he need to log off? I feel like there's like no world where you get caught with, we're kind of dancing. I feel like we're kind of dancing around calling it what I imagine it is, which is CP, you know. But there's no world in which you get caught being someone who enjoys CP and you decide to try to figure out just how fucked you are live on stream. That's just so like, you are so totally far gone and removed from like where you should be mentally in that kind of situation, I feel.
69 took it upon himself to test Lakari's claims technically. He attempted to replicate the glitch in his own stream to see if a deleted notepad file would still appear in the recent tab.
Oh, this isn't gonna go well.
He was able to debunk Lakari's excuse almost immediately, proving that the file's persistence meant that it hadn't been simply auto-downloaded and deleted as claimed.
Delete. Okay. No, it's not there. I mean, I'm gonna be honest.
Simultaneously, the internet began digging into Lakari's history, and what they found makes it seem like Lakari may have been hiding his alleged preferences in plain sight. They resurfaced old clips that suddenly
Beg
took on a
pardon?
much darker context. One notable instance was a lie detector segment where Lakari jokingly admitted to liking lolly content. Whilst
What?
this moment was originally played for laughs, it is now being scrutinized as a disturbing admission of guilt.
Do you like lollies?
Yes. Oh no! But not like that.
What? What do you mean, not like that? Bitch, say again. What do you mean, not like that? Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Okay. First thing was I was going to comment on the whole fucking lie detector thing again. I say again because the Jacksepticeye video that I reacted to, that video, you know, one of the clips in there was him being hooked up to a fucking lie detector, and so I did a little, you know, I did the whole, like, you know, we know that lie detectors are fake, right? They are used more so like this for like stupid bits than they are for actual, like, any kind of legitimate purpose. They're used for skits, basically, more so than trying to like deduce truthfulness for like crimes. They're more relevant to Hollywood than they are to actual criminal investigations. That was where I was initially going. And then I actually like watched the scene where the lie detector test was being used, and so going off the fact that, like, again, this is like a bit, right? This is like meant to be like stream content, right? It's supposed to be fun and funny, right? Why the fuck would you even ask a question like that, first of all? Like, if there's even a chance the guy's gonna actually say yes to that question, you should not be asking it. Because the way that people are responding, like, Mizkif actually had the most appropriate reaction where he at least like freaked out a little. But for the most part, people are just fucking laughing about it. And that is, frankly speaking, that tells you something about everybody in this fucking room right here. Not just Lakari. It might tell you the most about Lakari over these other folks, but it tells you, IMO, it tells you a lot about these other people. Like, that should be a very concerning revelation. If this is something that, like, if you were expecting to ask the question, again, I don't think you should have asked it at all, even if you weren't expecting him to say yes. But if you you should just you shouldn't be so casual about this. I don't know what to say. I feel like what I'm saying is just common sense, right? I feel like I'm not saying anything crazy here, where if you hear someone outright admit, like, oh yeah, I like lollies, like, your response should be somewhere between like concern or disgust or maybe even some kind of like anger, honestly. I don't know. It shouldn't be like this fucking dude on the right. It shouldn't be fucking like childish snickering. That should not be your reaction to something like this happening in front of you. Especially coming from someone who you like spend a decent amount of time with and maybe even consider like a friend. I don't know necessarily what all these people consider their relationships to be, but like, yeah, this is and like and like internet anarchists called this like hiding in plain sight. This isn't hiding. What's the, like, there's a phrase that has been getting, you know, that has been seeing increasing use and popularity, I think, in the past like several years, maybe a decade or so, due to like certain political and social things, and like so many people getting like caught in lies and like having their true colors revealed from like different scandals and stuff. And it's a very simple phrase. When people show you who they are, believe them. Lakari showed you very plainly in this little situation here, in this little, what should have been ostensibly a light-hearted comedy bit. He showed you who he was right here and now. Why were folks not believing him? Is my question. Holy, this is yikes. That
What do you mean?
I mean, his shit's spiked, but I think it's
But the most damaging blow to Lakari's reputation
Not funny.
came from his own circle, the Austin streamer ecosystem, which, as we discussed earlier, played a major role in his rise. During the stream, Lakari attempted to drag Asmongold into the controversy, claiming he had messaged him to simply keep that kind of stuff on another PC.
Asmon messaged me, said, bro, you need a separate PC for that stuff. Oh my god.
Asmongold immediately took to Twitter to clarify his statement, writing that he had only seen a censored version of the clip and had no idea of the depravity of the actual files when he made the comment. He then went on to distance himself and his organization, OTK, from Lakari on stream, stating that Lakari was never an official member of OTK and was merely a friend of the group, and that they had nothing to do with his actions.
Day before yesterday, we did a podcast with them, and like last night I was like, oh, we need to for sure upload this, but now I'm looking at what happened, I'm like, oh, maybe not, right? Why does OTK have so much drama? Shut the f up. Lakari was never even in OTK. He was just one of our friends. Like, what are you talking about? OTK, you're gonna drag OTK into this. We don't have anything to do with this. I guess like probably there's gonna be like,
okay. First of all, even if he's not an official member, like if people in your org are regularly associating with an individual to the point where people associate that individual with your org, like it's the same shit. Like Asmon is trying to draw a distinction that has no difference here. It is the same thing, frankly speaking. But also, why does OTK have so much drama? And he responds, shut the fuck up. Let's like, I get that I get why you don't want your organization to be, first of all, I didn't even know that Asmongold was still a like leader of OTK. Honestly, I thought that when he started going, you know, when his content started going the direction that it's been going the past few years, I thought that like at one point in time he had to step away from OTK and all of everything that he'd been involved with making. Was that like am I just thinking of the computer company that a couple of the OTK people started? Starforge, I think. I swear that Asmongold had to step away from some business venture or other. I thought it was like everything, but I guess not. But like, so I get why he's trying to distance his organization from being associated with someone who's like in the process of being branded as a pedophile. That makes sense. But at the same time, like, can we try to be a little intellectually honest about like things in general, like just looking at the situation more broadly? Like the person asked, generally speaking, like, why does OTK have so much drama? Like, you have to be incredibly disingenuous to act like OTK doesn't have a ton of drama. Like OTK hasn't been involved in a ton of drama. Like OTK is like, I mean, I think it's OTK and maybe FaZe Clan. Those are like the drama orgs, right? I feel like there's no streamer group that has had like more drama than one of those two groups. And so to act like, oh, like what do you mean? Why do we have so much, like, to act like that's some like outlandish accusation or claim? Like, come on, let's be adults about this, shall we? Let's not be children trying to hide a broken vase under a rug.
50,000 people are going to come into chat. People are associating you with friends with Tecton Lakari because you're part of it. Well, I mean, if he gets investigated, they're going to find out all of his links. And so I say, you know what? I welcome that. You know, I have nothing to do with it. So why would I be worried? Like, I'm going to be real. Like, the shit just really stresses me out, man. It sucks. It does. It really sucks. Fuck. You know, like, I don't know what else to say, right? I mean, like, honestly, it does. Like, I don't really, fuck. It's heavy. Yeah, it's heavy. Like, and I don't want to get involved in it. I don't want to make, and I'm going to be real, guys. I've already got one defamation lawsuit in the chamber. I don't need to be double barreling this shit, okay?
As a final measure, Asmon
Oh, I'm a little curious what that's supposed to be about. His defamation lawsuit. He was probably just like saying shit, and also, you know, that was clearly a bunch of like clips and pieces of the conversation he was having with his chat on stream. But I am a little bit curious, like, why he said the situation was like stressing him out. OTK has nothing to do with it, right? So if that's the case, like, what, like, if he's not involved, if it doesn't affect him or OTK, like, I don't see necessarily like what he has to be stressed about, unless I'm missing something. I mean, I guess maybe it's because, I mean, I guess it's probably because he feels like he got like dragged into it by Lakari's comment about how Asmon messaged him being like, oh, you need to keep that stuff on. So maybe it stressed him out that people were like drawing an association of like Asmon possibly also having like similar interests or preferences, as I think they were politely called a bit earlier in the video. So maybe by that stretch, I could see maybe being stressed out. Being a bit charitable here, but
Gold also announced the cancellation of an upcoming podcast episode that was featuring Lakari.
There's going to be probably a lot of people that will come into chat and they want me to talk about the Lakari stuff. Obviously, I think it's really weird and bad. I don't want to make any decisions and judgments for a legal reason. All I'm saying is that I think that if there needs to be an investigation, I hope there is one, and I don't want to have anything to fucking do with it. I'll tell you that. And also, we had Lakari on the podcast a couple of days ago. Safe to say, Allcraft is not going to come out this week. Sorry, guys. That's it.
Mizkif and
I didn't even know Asmongold had a fucking podcast. Everybody's got a fucking podcast. It's I should just assume I should just assume that until proven otherwise that any big creator has a fucking podcast.
another central figure in the group took an even more aggressive stance against Lakari, threatening to sue Lakari for falsely claiming Mizkif sent him the files.
Oh wait, what?
Mizkif linked it to me.
Wait, what?
Okay. Nice. That is absolutely defamation, and I will be suing you for that.
Ghost put those. Okay, first off, you're a fucking retard.
Idiots.
Because the files weren't on my PC.
You literally just called me a pedophile. If you don't think I'm suing you, Lakari, for everything you just have, you're fucking out of your mind. That's insane what you just said. Insane.
That is crazy.
You just fucking called me a pedophile.
He also went a step further, threatening to pull the internet logs from the time they lived together to prove his own innocence and further incriminate Lakari.
What if he was telling that stuff when he lived with you? You gotta report him yourself? Bro, I really hope that's not the case, man. I will take whatever action's needed. Tomorrow I'm gonna call AT&T.
Other major streamers.
Oh, shit. Oh. Honestly, though, I gotta say, this is like one of my favorite things when it comes to streamer drama, is when something goes wrong and like the dominoes start falling and shit just starts blowing up left and right, and then people start like accusing each other and implicating each other in things because they're just floundering trying to they're starting to drown, and then they're kicking their feet isn't enough, so they try to like grab at other people who are like who like have things to keep them afloat, and it's like it's the best. Because I can't stand so many of these motherfuckers who, you know, like we were saying earlier in the video, like these people get into such positions of like privilege, and they take it for granted, and they become such like, they either become such shitty people or they already were such shitty people, and they just and they're just like excited to have the opportunity to express that more fully. And so and it's hard to see people like this ever get taken down a peg, because like part of what comes with being a successful content creator is a rabid horde of, you know, raving parasocial fans who will defend you at all costs. For in you know, not every large creator has a fan base or a community like that, but a lot of them do. And so it's hard to ever actually like hold them to account for any of their failures or faults or shortcomings. But when something like this happens and shit hits the fan and they start trying to take each other out, oh, it's the best. Because seeing these people just, it's great. It's great. Love to see it personally.
Soda Poppin also addressed the situation live, expressing disgust and completely distancing themselves from their former peer.
Insane. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, woke up, a couple Reddit threads. Viki was like, hey, have you seen LSF? I'm like, no, what's going on? Akari. What'd Akari do? I was like, oh man, top LSF post. Ooh, this looks awful. And then I scrolled down, I'm like, another one. Wait, another one. How much content did this guy put out while being like outed as potentially a file? I mean, fuck. It's looking like Philia, or at least the notepad, and they just scrolling. And the thing is, he streamed the whole thing. He actually dug a hole straight down to like China, fucking Lolly Town. Actually just kept digging. Crazy.
The final nail in the coffin.
This motherfucker just said lolly town. I'm dead.
Community, when Penguin Zero, aka Moist Critical, released a video covering the situation, titled "This Twitch streamer situation is disgusting."
As he does.
Brought the situation to the attention of mainstream YouTube audiences.
The links are censored there, but apparently a lot of people have taken the plunge into looking up a lot of what was revealed here through the Lakari leaks, and what they have found is beyond heinous. Like, this is some evil shit we're talking about here. And after this happened, his stream was calling him out on it, and most people expected him to pin the stream, to like hide the evidence, Newgate basically banish it to the Shadow Realm and hope that people didn't have enough time to dig into it. Lakari, on the other hand, cooked up a different kind of scheme. He streamed for multiple hours after this happened, and just fucking face-tanked everybody that was digging into it, and all the people that were rightfully calling him out for how deplorable the shit they found in there was.
Charlie concluded the video stating,
"It does not look good. This looks fucking awful."
The consequences
what a
of the
quote.
stream went far
It does
beyond
not look good.
embarrassment or the loss of his social circle. Lakari was banned from Twitch, stripping him of his primary income source and the audience he had spent over a decade building. He was also preemptively banned from Kick, which usually acts as a safe haven for banned streamers.
Damn, banned from Twitch and Kick. Well, guess he's off to Rumble.
To be honest, it's not looking good for Lakari. What started as a standard stream ended as a career-defining disaster. A 15-year legacy erased in a 5-second mistake. There will likely be more developments as this situation unfolds, so make sure to subscribe to stay updated. In the meanwhile, click the video on screen to watch more.
Okay, that's the video. Yeah, to that end, actually, you know, while the last thing we were shown was that Lakari was banned off of Twitch and Kick, so maybe that's just kind of the end of things to an extent. To the kind of point that was raised about how, you know, the situation might develop, more changes might happen, you know, even if Lakari doesn't necessarily like come back or have anywhere to like go to necessarily, and he's busy, maybe he finally did something smart and like talked to a lawyer and was advised to shut the fuck up. It is still the case that like some of the other people like Mizkif may have had to maybe have like continued commenting on it because of the involvement that the extent like they were being involved and dragged into things. And you know, I'm sure that since he ended up seemingly doing quite a bit of content over the years with various members of OTK, once he started kind of like incorporating with that social group of streamers, I wouldn't be surprised if like random other members started getting like interrogated by their chats like about various things having to do with Lakari. So if anybody knows any like good videos that covered any kind of updates that have happened in the past few weeks since this initially started coming to light, feel free to let me know about that in the comments. Even if and if there's not necessarily like a video because like maybe there hasn't been like too much being talked about, even if you just know like a couple of things like that happened that like again didn't necessarily get covered because they weren't like huge big, you know, changes to the overall situation of things. If you just happen to know like a couple of new things that happened in the like week or two that like immediately after, feel free to tell me about that in the comments as well. I'd be interested to get a bit more information, just to feel like I still know I'm keeping up with what's going on with this. But yeah, that's gonna be it, I guess. I don't know if I necessarily have too much to add that I didn't include in the middle of the video while like pausing to talk about things. It's fucked. Like earlier in the video I was trying to like make some arguments for like, well, hold on, you know, porn that says teen doesn't necessarily mean like teen, you know what I mean? But given the way that things transpired, I have to assume that like shit was kind of bad, right? Like Charlie said, it looks bad. Grade A quote. But yeah, I have to assume that some of the things that were found were, you know, even if some of it was like not necessarily as bad as it was being made out to be, I assume that for every few things that were found to be like not actually that bad, there was probably at least one or two that were like, oh no, it's that bad. It's like, so yeah, suffice it to say that in the case of like actual CP, I don't fuck with that. I don't fuck with anyone engaging in that in any capacity. So yeah, rest in piss Lakari, I suppose. And anyone he wants to try to drag down with him, I'm happy to see flail about in desperation, whether they actually had any kind of direct or indirect involvement or not. Again, it's just when it comes to these big millionaire, often egotistical content creators, like I'm more than happy to see them have to face a little bit of struggles every now and then. So with that, I think we could probably go ahead and wrap this up, call this video here. If you enjoyed the video, enjoyed seeing me freak out a little bit here and there throughout, enjoyed any thoughts that I had to contribute to the matter at hand, then like the video, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And check out other stuff on the channel if you would like to do so. I've got other drama stuff, but I've also got some like not quite as drama filled stuff. So yeah, and I'll be continuing to put out more and more, hopefully for the foreseeable future. But all that being said, until I see you in the next one, take care. Bye.